Hi everybody, I'm Phil Town from Rule 1 Investing. Today I want to talk to you a little bit about why that debt is so darn hard to pay off and what you can do about it. Paying off debt, man, no easy thing. I'm telling you right now. I know I've been there. Many of you are there right now. And it's especially hard if it's a credit card, which can be absolutely crippling to you and to your wallet. So one thing that you can't do properly when you have a lot of money and it's in debt is invest. Because think about it. If you're paying 18 to 20% on credit card debt, and you're going out and just doing a great job as an investor and making 15% a year, you're still losing 3 to 5% a year to your credit card debt. So it's really important to understand the impact of compounding rates of return that apply to you both as an investor and as somebody that's got debt. They work against you just as well as it works for you, which is why debt's so hard to get rid of. And here's how you can get rid of it and how you can succeed in using compounding rates of return to make a lot of money instead of costing you a lot of money. So first thing to get out of debt is you're gonna have to change that lifestyle a little bit, all right? We do all kinds of things to push ourselves up to kind of feel comfortable with our friends, have a lot of comfort level with our children's friends. And in order to do that, we sometimes get into debt. Now, in order to get out of debt, we're gonna have to do a little thing differently in our lifestyle. We're gonna have to cut back on spending for a while. Now, I had a pretty good friend who's a single mom. She had 2 kids, neither of them worked at all. She had 2 extra bedrooms in the house after the divorce. And she didn't use any of these resources to start to help her get out of debt and start to create capital for investing. In fact, she went the other way. She got deeper into debt by buying a new car so her daughter could go to school and not be kidded by her friends for having an old beater car. I'm telling you, you can kill yourself with this kind of stuff trying to impress people that really don't care that much one way or the other, all right? So, I mean, think about her situation. If all she did was just rent out a couple of rooms to a couple of students, right? She could be picking up a couple $100s a month each. That's $400 a month, that's $5,000 a year. If she just had her son and daughter go out and do some work, they could contribute to the family, maybe make another $200 or $300 a month, another $3,000 or $4,000 a year. That totaled out maybe $8,000 to $10,000 a year she doesn't have right now that could get her out of debt, get away from the 18% payments. And guess what? Once those are gone, that money's available to invest. Then making 15% to 20% makes a lot of sense. Now, second, you're gonna have to sacrifice doing some things that you wanna do right now, right? You wanna have the nice new car. You wanna have the nice apartment in a nice part of town. You're gonna have to learn how to say no to those things. This is one of the things that I was actually really, really good at when I first started investing, is that I didn't spend a lot of money. I didn't have to have a lifestyle. I mean, remember, I was coming from a place where I was living in a sleeping bag for 13 years, first in the Army and then 10 years as a river guide. And I'll tell you, it didn't matter to me if I was sleeping on the floor of a meditation center or out in a teepee or out in the dirt. I didn't care. It wasn't like it was an ego thing, right? We get caught up in stuff that just doesn't matter. I'm telling you, most people around the world would give anything to be able to live in the kind of dwellings that our least able citizens are living in. I'm talking about the lower class citizens. People with no money live better than most of the people in the middle class, most of the places in the world. So you're just gonna have to get a grip. And if you find that you're living in a city, for example, you're living in a city and the only place you can really afford, a place that will allow you to get out of debt, a place that would allow you to start building up a retirement portfolio, that those places are dangerous or those places are not good for your kids, then think about moving out of that city. There's little towns all over America where you can get a job, you can make a good living, and where your cost of living is a half or less what it would be in a big city, and it's safe. So you're gonna have to think outside the box. Most millionaires, Buffett included, are not only frugal, but they're very good at thinking out of the box. Buffett isn't living in New York City. He didn't want to start off as an investor living in a place that would eat up everything he earned, right? So be frugal and do what you got to do to get that money going. Third, everybody seems to be spending as much money as they want. This is terrible, man. You let this get to you, watching your friends do all this kind of spending. you're going to have to focus on setting goals. I would suggest strongly, if you're part of a synagogue or a church or a mosque, and most of these places, these have some kind of financial program that can help you focus on setting goals, help you focus on creating a budget, help you focus on creating wealth for yourself so you can get out of that debt that's killing you and get some of that capital out here where you can start investing in it. It's really important that you pay off that expensive debt. You'll be really glad you did. You'll be glad you paid it off in the long run. And it's so important you stop spending money on stuff you don't have to have so that you can save that money and get a great retirement. And you're going to be able to make great returns investing if you learn Rule 1 investing. And once you start making those kind of returns, I promise you, your whole head will change about spending an extra dollar, because you'll start to recognize that compounding that money at a high rate of return, that dollar could be thousands and thousands of dollars just a few years down the road. Now, I'd love to hear from you guys. This is a really important thing that we're talking about here. What's the hardest part, or what was the hardest part about paying off bad debt? Let me see what that is. I'd love to get a discussion going there. I'll follow up with you. So thanks for watching, you guys, and now go play. And if you enjoyed the video and you thought it was kind of valuable about, getting better at paying off debt, then subscribe to my channel and share this video with your friends. You're not the only one sitting in that boat. And anybody else who might be able to benefit from this information.